From skins you haven't even heard of teased to Fortnite referencing a famous artist, a new worthy character, and even the return of the Daily Bugle, here's Easter eggs in Fortnite Season 4. If you've had the chance to explore the massive castle that belongs to Doom, you might have come across his prized collections that even tease upcoming skins. Doom on the island is no force to be reckoned with because he's already defeated all of Marvel's greatest heroes and villains. One of the first to lose to him was Ultron Prime, who you may recognize from the What If animated show, and if you watch that, you'll know how powerful he was. His power, however, was no match for Doom because his head can now be spotted as a displayed artifact. This means he could potentially arrive later this season. Ultron isn't the only character being referenced because so is Marvel's Dormammu. Up in this new stack POI with the red smoke coming from it, you can find this anvil, and look closely and you'll see Dormammu's face. And it looks like Doom brutally stole his mask and instead turned him into an anvil. Not too many people know you can also spot multiple paintings with Doom standing over Thor's hammer and Iron Man's helmet, meaning he also bested those two in combat. But a reference fans of Doctor Doom will surely recognize is him defeating Thanos. There's this iconic moment inside of a comic where Doom easily defeats the Mad Titan in a display of raw power, and this is now in game because Thanos' helmet is also kept by him. Everyone's already seen the other trophies with nods to Marvel TV shows and movies, including Moon Knight's weapons, Doctor Strange's Eye of Agamotto, Silver Surfer's board, and even Magneto's helmet, who we saw last season. The Fantastic Four have also already begun being teased, and we know Doom made the Thing his throne, but he also made a ball out of Mr. Fantastic. And lastly, the worst ending belongs to Johnny Storm because his heart is now being used by Doom to light up the fireplace at his castle. Whenever Doom's bored though, since he's already defeated his arch nemesis Mr. Fantastic, he's found a new way to entertain himself by throwing darts and even an axe on a picture of his inside the room, further promising that he'll be an outfit. Around the many different chambers, there's also many comic panel references. In this picture, Doom is seen riding on a sea creature, which is taken directly from this comic. A similar case to this is a painting of Doom where he's seen riding a bear in a snowy landscape, and it's a direct reference to a comic panel where he does so. And Doom always does as he pleases, in this case tooting a horn. That's right, because even someone as malicious as him takes pleasure in simpler things, because in his castle you can find a horn in one of his displays, which is a reference to one of the panels where he first met the Marvel hero Namor, Marvel's equivalent of Aquaman. This reference could be a hint at Namor also arriving later in the season, or simply a neat nod to the comics. The next reference is one of the most hilarious ones Fortnite's ever done, teasing a collab with a music artist. In the Doom screens around the map, you can spot news of people rebelling against Doom's tyranny. That is until Doom offers them all some ice cream. This is a surprising reference to an artist called MF Doom, who uses this art of Doom offering ice cream as a cover for one of his albums. This could mean Fortnite will be adding some of the songs from this artist in Festival sometime this season. It'd be the perfect way to honor them, so may they rest in peace. And to destroy the rebellion against Doom, there's also his loyal henchmen. However, they have a secret detail. When you give them a second chance to join your team, they'll sometimes try to hug you or give you a high five, and if you don't, they'll be sad you left them hanging, so make sure you don't upset them and emote with them instead. But something upsetting was the fact Galactus has returned on the island, and you can spot him in the ocean just like we did in the first Marvel season. Everyone knows this by now, and you might ask what the upsetting part is, and it's that Galactus is not alive. Instead, it seems like he's been eliminated because his helmet's damaged and has smoke coming from it, a different fate than we saw in the event. But if you go to the nearest biome over at Doomstat, there's a reference that can be caught from only those who played during the first Marvel season. We've all spotted that if you visit the local bakery, you'll notice something really cool about it, where you can see Doom's Domain making a neat pun about the Doom's Domain POI, which took over Pleasant Park in Chapter 2 Season 4. This makes it clear that it's the second time Doom's come to the island, and he's stolen a very important item this time. You may remember Valeria's book from Chapter 5 Season 1, which she used to find and release Pandora's box. But take a walk around Doom's castle and you'll come across this study room where the same book can be found. What also can be found is a hilarious reference to a character we recently saw. In the map, there's multiple signs banning people, but take a look at the Raft POI and you'll notice a sign that restricts everyone in the raft from wearing silly hats. And yes, this is of course Magneto's helmet that you can see, which is a nod to his character being so powerful that almost no prison could hold him. And in that same spot, there's also a reference to a new character from the Marvel universe who will possibly be getting as a skin. There's a sign warning us of the Juggernaut character, who if you're not familiar with is from the X-Men comics and even made an appearance in the Deadpool 2 film. So this could very well be one of the Marvel skins coming to the shop very soon. Something that'll come soon is punishment for those that disobey Doom's greatest wish. And that is, of course, not to litter his property in Doomstat. He even has a small security room hidden there, and the entire place is filled with cameras, so he knows what you're doing at all times. Speaking of which, let's talk about the man himself, Steve Rogers, who has his own unique Easter egg this season. If you take a look at this season's battle pass, you'll spot that there's a loading screen revealing how Jones ended up taking the mantle of Captain America. Steve Rogers himself gave him the shield, which makes a lot more sense if you consider Jones and Captain America have met in the first Marvel season and in the Zero War comics. Captain America is one of the few worthy to lift the Mjolnir hammer, and Epic secretly added another character that can now use the pickaxe. You might be thinking that it's Jones, but in reality it's someone no one expected, Moon Knight. That's right, Moon Knight can now lift Thor's hammer, which is a nod to the comic where Moon Knight explains that the hammer is made of moon rocks and he has the powers of the moon, therefore he's able to wield it. There is, however, an Easter egg revolving around Captain Jonesy, and it can be found inside of an emote. The Captain Llama America emote features the classic American Eagle meme, but instead is a llama cosplaying as the eagle. Speaking of those, not a lot of people know, but there's a secret room inside of the Doomstat POI where someone is keeping Iron Man cosplay suits. Not only that, but the entire room is themed around Tony Stark. There's cardboard cutouts that showcase his suit from Avengers Endgame, and one of the cosplay suits is a nod to his first ever suit seen in Iron Man 1. It's not the first time it's been referenced because we saw Jonesy build a similar suit in a cave, but the craziest reference in this hidden location is the small TV which displays the Marvel vs. Capcom game. There's another secret room on the map, and it's where Gwenpool's hiding. Near the Raft POI, there's another small cell where if you go by, you'll realize it's where Gwenpool is being kept, but as she reveals in her dialogue, she's been captured on purpose, so in the next weeks, expect her to break free. A neat detail on Gwenpool though pays tribute to the original character who she got inspiration from. If you take a look closely, you can spot a small Deadpool pin on her jacket, which is super wholesome. Aside from Gwenpool though, there's another character who aims on escaping the raft soon, and they have an Easter egg which hints at an old Fortnite POI making its return. Around the map, there's posters for Meowscooth, who will escape his prison cell soon by a newspaper called the Daily Burglar. This is a reference to the infamous Daily Bugle from Spider-Man's universe, which was also a POI in Fortnite, so who knows, maybe it'll be returning considering this is a full Marvel season. And what better way to make an escape if not for the train, which is returned this season with a new secret detail. After we saw it covered by sand in season 3, this train's now made its return in season 4, but it no longer belongs to the Society or Wastelanders, as Doom has taken it upon himself to revamp it with his own branding. The train was last seen active in season 2 before its return, and at the time we also got one of the most hilarious story quests that is now being referenced on the map. A quest in season 2 had us search for Cerberus's ball, and the community made many complaints to Epic about the story centering around finding a dog toy. Well, Epic's now responded because they've added multiple tennis balls on different statues around the map. That's not the only reference to the story we have though, because Epic added a hidden nod to the 7. Every season they add new bots that have specific combos like John Wick and a dog as his backbling. This time they added a visitor bot with a chrome spine backbling, referencing how the visitor was chromed in the trailer for Chapter 3 Season 4. The rival of the 7, the IO, also got a small Easter egg, but this one's pretty confusing. The IO Trooper skin has some symbols on him that belong to the Imagined Orders logo, but in the LEGO mode they're replaced with a duck for no reason at all, making it one of the most unnecessary but funny changes. That's been Easter eggs in the new season. Subscribe.